bookmark it. Put it in the very first bookmark of your bookmarks bar. Send it to all your friends and family, like, look at this super cool artist who exists. Hello everyone, my name is Arwin, and today I'm making a pencil case out of scrap fabric because I spilled an entire tube of toothpaste on my old one a year ago, and also because the art block has art blocked again, and I feel the need to make a tangible object that doesn't take that much thought to make look nice. So, feel free to grab a work-in-progress project and work with me, or just watch the video for inspiration. Attaching the strings to the fabric in a really easy and fast way tutorial, double up the thread and tie just a normal knot at the opposite end from the needle, stick the needle through the fabric and pull so there's only some thread left on the other side, then stick the needle in between the two threads and pull it until it's tight. I think this thing turns out really cute, and there's something really satisfying about, like, scrappy fabric things where the scrappiness makes it look cute. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but whenever I go on Pinterest and see something like patchworky and scrappy, it like makes my brain itch to do a scrap fabric project. So that's what I'm doing. Ignore the giant welts on my hands. I got a lot of bug bites and they're horrible. So how the pencil case works is it's just a rectangle with pockets and a flap at the top that flaps over the art supplies, and it rolls up and ties with a tie or a button thing. I do the button thing. I end up doing some off-camera mining at the end and add buttons to the flap that flaps over the art supplies too, because I stuffed this thing so full of art supplies that it was necessary so they wouldn't fall out. The pencil case I spilled toothpaste on was like the best thing ever. I made it when I was 13 and it was just a rectangle with pockets. It's the same as this basically. But it was beyond saving after the toothpaste incident, even though it was perfect. It was perfect for everything I needed. And then I spilled an entire tube of toothpaste on it. And all of my favorite pens have just been migrating between assorted bags for a year. I'm currently visiting my abuelita in Colombia, and she is a seamstress, so she has a lot of scrap fabric. This is not my scrap fabric, but, my pile of scrap fabric will be put into use. I make things out of the fabric that I save. I'm not a hoarder. So she showed me her scrap bucket and said I could use anything in it, so here I am. Oh, Happy New Year, by the way. Usually artists will talk a bit about their goals for the new year, so I will do that also. My biggest goal is to work consistently on my webcomic Dandelion of Auguscolore. I love the story that I've written, and I refuse to let it die. No matter how many times I get uninspired to work on the comic, it will get done. Someday. I want to make lots of progress this year. I will not finish it this year, but I want to make lots of progress. I started it around the beginning of 2024, and I got 17 pages done before the end of it, which isn't terrible considering I made Alterous in 2024. If you haven't seen my short film, you should watch my short film. But I guess my goal is to be further than page 34 by the end of 2025. Here I'm adding patches to the pencil case, and the patches are really just bits of scrap fabric, and for some reason the sewing on the pieces of scrap fabric is really satisfying, like to watch in the video. Whenever I see stuff like this on Pinterest where there's lots of visible hand sewing and a few raw edge bits of the fabric, it's just really scrappy. I'm like, yes, this is kind of ugly, and it's exactly the aesthetic I want my fabric projects to have. Another art goal for 2025 is just to like tell more stories with my art in general. I want to spend more time on like medium-sized projects and not just one-off illustrations, and I want to develop my characters more. I have a lot of characters that I draw, and most of them are like really big and most of them are for like really big stories that I have plans in the future, but I want to develop them more even though that story isn't going to be worked on for a long time. I always say my favorite thing to do with art is to tell stories, and that is very true. Alterus and Dandelion of Auguscaloria are my favorite things I've made, and my favorite illustrations are the ones that tell stories as well. I think it would be really fun to make some like short animations and comics in 2025 telling shorter stories. Another art goal is to make more YouTube videos. I feel really excited about the idea of having like an online community of people who like my art, and I still feel like YouTube is the best way to do that. I do have a Discord server associated with this channel and my internet art shenanigans in general. It is kind of dead right now because there's almost no one in it, but you should join it because then there will be more people in it and it will be alive. I'm manifesting it. You can find the link to that in the description of the video or on my website. Oh yeah, I have like a proper website now. It's really cool. It has a bunch of art that I'm really proud of on it. Bookmark it. Put it in the very first bookmark of your bookmarks bar. Send it to all your friends and family, like look at this super cool artist who exists. You should totally do that. I'm gonna jump into some things that are more ideas than goals for 2025, because I don't want to put pressure on myself to do them, but I think they would be cool. I want to sell more things on Etsy, like more prints and stickers, but also just more things that I make with my hands. Like, I draw the prints and stickers with my hands, but like, I think it would be fun to sell like fiber art stuff and jewelry and pins and stuff, like tangible objects that I make, because like I draw the art, but then I just print it, and yeah. That's an idea. This is a really specific idea, but I want to do custom Furby commissions. A few years ago, I got really into customizing 1998 Furbies, and I recently got back into it for reasons entirely unrelated to anyone's Hanukkah gift. He gets it in like a week, and I'm entirely unsure if he watches my videos. Hopefully not. I mean, hopefully he does watch my videos, but procrastinates on watching this one for at least a week. But yeah, please let me know if you think custom Furby commissions are cool and if you want one, because I will do it if people want me to. This is an idea that I think is cool enough that I will need very little validation to actually do it. Tying off tutorial. So, stick the needle through the fabric or the last stitch and pull until there's a small loop left. Stick the needle through the loop and pull on the end of the thread that makes the first loop tiny until it doesn't exist and there's just the one loop that you're holding. Then stick the needle through that loop and pull it tight. Then if you're not lazy, you can weave in the ends and then cut, but I'm lazy so I don't. It's lining fabric time, as in I didn't have enough of the lining fabric to cut one big piece, so I am sewing two small pieces together. After that, I'll sew it to what will be the inside of the pencil case. I think it could also be cool to start streaming me working on art, like live streams. I think that would be a good way to show you guys my animation process specifically, because it's really hard to make a YouTube video of the animation process. You can't time-lapse it because it's like so all over the place and it takes so long, so it would be really annoying to like edit down real-time footage, but I think streaming me working on animating could be fun. It could be fun, but not just fun, but also fun and educational. I could also just stream me drawing or like do sketch requests. I don't know. The possibilities are vast and endless. Let me know if you think that would be cool. Here I'm cutting the flap that will be the pockets. I'm gonna do a blanket stitch around the whole rectangle, including the pocket flap and the lining fabric, so that will attach it all together. And it'll look extra scrappy because I'm doing a blanket stitch instead of a legitimate hem. I made my next sketchbook. I'm currently working on my 6th sketchbook, and I made my 7th sketchbook. Because I do bookbinding as well as every craft ever. I'll put pictures on the screen because it's really cute. So my brother and my abuelita wanted to learn bookbinding, and I was happy to teach both of them, but my brother only speaks English. I speak English and a little bit of Spanish, and my abuelita only speaks Spanish, so this was a challenge. I used my sketchbook that I made as like an example to show them how to do things, which was very helpful with my abuelita because I am not fluent in the only language she speaks, but it worked out and my abuelita made a really pretty book too. My brother hasn't finished his yet, but he's having a lot of fun, I think. I'm not worried about not having an example to show him things, because I am fluent in English and can explain things in English. I'm going to use the sketchbook as motivation to finish my current sketchbook because I am really excited to draw in this sketchbook. It's so cool. I'm just doing a running stitch down 2 places in the middle of the pocket flap to make smaller pockets. I also think the running stitch looks fun on the outside, which is why I didn't sew it just to the lining fabric. Now I'm making the button thingy that closes the thing. I'm just cutting this existing hem from the scrap fabric pile so I can do less work, and yeah. And that's going to be 2 strings, one with buttonholes and one with a button. When the thing rolls up, those will wrap around to keep it closed. I am making this partially because of the art block that is art blocking. Usually when I'm in art block, my inspiration to draw is the first thing to go, but crafting can still happen. So I've been trying to craft a lot so I don't get sad. I get sad when I'm not making things. Maybe that's the autisming. Like, I think some people wouldn't think of art in general as a special interest because it's so broad, especially for me since I do so many art things, but I think it is a special interest for me, because, no, it's definitely a special interest for me because I have to be doing it all the time. Like, if I go a day, hell, even 3 hours without doing something creative, I get really mopey. Like, there are rarely days that go by that I don't do art, if ever. I don't consume media because I'm always doing art. Like, I think I've said that before on YouTube. Well, I consume Minecraft videos, but usually while doing art. That's special interest number 2. I'm starting to think that the fact I don't consume media ever is starting to take a toll on my inspiration, though, because, like, people talk about, like, you need to do art to be good at art, but then you also need to, like, refuel with rest and being inspired by things, and I don't do the second part very much. So, like, I'm getting more and more to the point where I constantly have motivation to create, but no inspiration for what to create. I don't know what to do about this conundrum at all. If you have advice, please tell me. How do I find inspiration for cool things to make? when I don't have social media other than YouTube, and I get sad if I look at stuff on a screen instead of making stuff for more than an hour. Hooray, it's done. I think it's really cute. I'm going to use it all the time. I hope you liked the video. Make sure to thumbs up and comment and stuff, because then the algorithm will be nice to me. Subscribe if you want to see more of my art and craft shenanigans. Have a good day. Goodbye.